I pretty much just woke up and had one of the most messed up dreams in a while. Not that long. Doesn't involve a family member dying and going through that process. That was the one a while ago. Not that long ago. This one is messed up because I woke up. I give a little background before the main part. You know, for some reason we're in the hotel, and it mostly involves just trying to sleep, even with a bunch of people. For some reason there's a bunch of people in our giant room, and then suddenly they all disappear. I don't know why. And then, for just a short while, we go back to a house, not my house. His house was very different, but some house. I can still kind of remember it. I could build it in Minecraft if I wanted. Oh well. And then, you know, this is where stuff gets juicy. We're suddenly at an amusement park. This is where the details get very specific now. So we're waiting in line, and suddenly this woman in front of us with red hair, pale complexion, you know, suddenly starts talking with me and someone. You know, we talk for a while we're waiting in line. You know, pretty fun time. And then suddenly, we get to this point in line where we can cut and go to the next part. Like, we could skip a decent chunk of the line this way just by going under a chain. As a group, we all decide to do it. At first, you know, we get away with it, you know. We just look at the guy who's handling the line, and then, you know, he's a little suspicious, but it's whatever. And everybody pretty much sees us do it, but they find it funny. In fact, they show us a meme on their phone. I don't know how my brain conjured this up, but it just does. Man, I'm losing the details. I don't know, something relevant to us cutting in line. You know, we wait for a bit, the line moves just a little, and then what happens is the guy handling the line, you know, catches us in the act, because it was just fast pass people who went, basically. It's not always called fast pass. And well, for some reason on the fast passes, you can match it up to a face, and that's how they know it's real. And his most recent one would have been us if we had a fast pass and had gone there normally instead of cutting through the line under a chain. And we all start lining up for, except for me, and then he sees no, none of us were there. And then, you know, then he randomly calls me out too, because then he realizes I was in that group too. So we're kicked out of line, and then we're all just still laughing. Me, in real life, I would be brutally embarrassed for getting caught, but for some reason in the dream, I was laughing. And same for that red hair girl. And then, you know, I didn't realize it, you know, she was 7'3", and then we locked eyes, and suddenly we just kept talking to each other, and then he just kept talking more and more until we eventually just got to talking about dating each other. And then, I mean, we said yes, and we hugged. Here's what I wrote. As soon as I woke up, I still remember what it was like to first hug her. Happiness beyond what I'd ever felt. Complete and utter joy, because in the moment, in her arms, embracing, laughing, I knew she was the one. And then it suddenly went through a bunch of different situations of our relationship. You know, I got out of my comfort zone to defend her. Even if, you know, me right now, I would be too afraid to do so. You know, she was there for me, and what I had wrote You know, I was learning what it meant to be there for her, and everything was working out. I just got allergies. I'm not crying. Yeah, I am serious. You know, it's not so brutal as that other nightmare. Sometimes it's hard to tell if the mic is picking this up. Actually, what I wrote down for this was, through thick and thin, I stood by her, out of my comfort zone, doing anything to make her feel like the most special woman on earth. And then suddenly, you know, I woke up. It's jarring to wake up after that, especially at a time like 9:10 a.m., which I haven't woken up at in since like Christmas. But before that, I didn't wake up at that time pretty much ever. I don't know, something about Christmas. You just gotta wake up early. I'm fine with showing the rest of the words I typed as soon as I woke up. You know, I'm not gonna read them though. You can read them if you want. This was what I was like when I woke up. I'll admit the sleep was nice, you know. Somehow, even if melatonin isn't working to make me sleep, or to fall asleep, I should say, it's working to make me feel like I slept enough. I don't know, I'm guessing I fell asleep around 4. It's only 9. I mean, that's 5 hours of sleep. I don't really do much, but still, you know, I would never wake up around this time naturally. But I don't know if it's the melatonin that's giving me these long dreams that are lasting quite a while. This is the one that's, you know, messed me up a little. And I want to remember it, but I might as well make content out of it, because, you know, I'm not recording Pokemon for quite a while. I guess to explain that, you know, I'm just a little burnt out on Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I've been playing it a lot. I basically just play it on the side while I play the first Ascendant. I am grinding them up still, but I haven't done any of the post game in my personal file, nor the Soul Silver one. God forbid the Heart Gold series one. I mean, geez, I am just staying in the same patch of grass, not trying to fight any trainers, not really trying to do anything, just grind and level up. 42 is where I'm going to try to get to. Well, anyways, that is pretty much it. Goodbye to the red hair woman of 7'3", who I was ready to share my life with, even if you were but a fading dream. And have a good day, or else.